Okay, DGP 115, back behind the mic. It's Steven and KP recording on a Monday, October 13.
Howdy, it is Indigenous Peoples Day here in the district. So, we got the day off from work, which is nice. Happy Indigenous Day to all the U.S. folks out there. But it's been a while since you recorded, KP. It has been a while. You have been on a hiatus, so you got to tell the people what you've been up to.
That's fair, man. Let me just say welcome to the regular listeners, as always, and welcome to those of you joining us for the first time. You did it. You found the number one common sense footballing podcast in the world. We are two individuals out of Washington, D.C. We are independent. You won't hear ads on this podcast. You won't hear about sponsors. Just a couple of guys who love to talk about the Arsenal in their spare time. And where have I been? Man, last episode we recorded together was, I want to say, like 25 days ago or so. And then, of course, you and Mr. Ron Reyes got behind the mic and had a special episode 19 days ago doing a recap of that 1-1 Manchester City game. And I was on my honeymoon. A lot of folks know I got married in March and, took a few months off there. And then the wife and I hit the road. We were in Japan. Very difficult to watch Arsenal games while you're in Japan. Let me tell you, shout out to all of the Arsenal Asian fans who put in the work and the hours. Got the chance to meet a few of them. Good folks, man. Really good folks. Arsenal through and through. Let me tell you.
And if you're a follower on the Blue Sky, you probably saw a Tomiyasu sighting. KP actually was able to catch I think it was the end of the Newcastle game. Is that the one you got to see?
West Ham was the only game I got to see, the most recent game. And it was only the second half of it. Found this random pub, man. And there were a lot of Japanese folks, obviously, in there. But also I ran into a couple of individuals from England who were celebrating their honeymoon. And it was really nice speaking with the proper English Arsenal man who has been a season ticket holder since like 2005, he was telling me. And we had a little chat about what you see online and how different is it in the stadium. He was very illuminating for sure.
Well, it's good to have you back. A lot has happened since you've been away. I gotta say, start of the season, we wanted to say we're good. We're just really good, man. So what have we missed since you've been gone? Port Vale, Carabao Cup, easy. Big away win at Newcastle. 2-1, Olympiacos in the Champions League. Easy work. And then West Ham at home. 2-0. Wins in the bag. I gotta say, we're flying high right now. Top of the league at the international break. Obviously, there's speed bumps along the way, but we're good. We're real good.
We are so good. We've been saying it for, I want to say 3 years now. And I gotta tell you this right now on the spot, Steven. Because after match week 2, I told you, we might not see Benny Blanco play for a while. Ooh. After match week 3, I told you, Jurrien Timber might be the best right back in the world. And you all laughed at me. Every single one of you laughed at me. But now the fan base is coming to that realization, aren't they?
After you had said that, at the time I was like, I don't know who the other right backs are. And I'm thinking about, I guess Trent Alexander-Arnold would probably be the one that stands out in my mind. Carvajal at the time, he was a top right back, but he's past his time. The way this dude is playing, I can actually see it. Top right back in the world, keeping Benny Blanco on the bench. Ben White played against Olympiacos, and I gotta tell you, Arteta was up his ass.
Really?
He was in his ear talking to him. I don't know what was going on. Ben White's obviously rusty. He's doing some things. I think he was taking some chances. And I think Arteta was like, hey, does Timber do that? I don't think so, big man.
Well, the main reason I bring this up is to tell you, last year, before the start of last season, I told you that, man, the more I watch this Jurrien Timber guy, the more I'm convinced if he was fit his first full season, if that injury didn't happen, we win the league. And I'm just here to say that again with my chest because I feel this team is very, very close to winning this league.
I love that shout. The only difference with this team And obviously that team of 2 years ago when we did lose Timber the first game of the season, he was obviously coming in to start the season. I think he started the Community Shield, started the first game of the season. They knew he was going to be a big-time player for us. The only difference is he goes down. Now we have the depth, man. That's what it's all about. We have the depth. And I know we have a little doc here about all these things, but I think the first thing we need to touch on, we usually save it for last. Flowers to the manager, KP. Flowers to Mikel Arteta, man. I just ran through those 5 different games. From Port Vale to West Ham. Different starting lineups. Run it back mode is dead. I think run it back mode might be dead. We have so many players to play. So many different variations. We're trying Eze in the midfield. We're trying Eze at the wing. We have Declan Rice sitting out a game. Unbelievable stuff, right? Actually giving the big man a rest so he can come back and just put on levels against the Newcastles, levels against the West Hams. Like Mikel Arteta, big time flowers.
Yeah, I think the last episode you and I recorded together, we also ended up starting it with giving flowers to the manager. And that was a month ago. And at the top of the pod, I told you we are independent. And that's where it comes from. I'm not just here to say get the manager out as soon as something goes wrong. I'm not here to say change things just for the cause of changing things. I'm here to give people time. I'm here to give them the opportunity to show me what they are made of. And you're absolutely right, dude. 2 years ago, when we had those injuries on the first day of the season, we weren't able to cope with it. This season, we also had injuries at the start of the season. Kai Havertz, see you later. Martin Odegaard, can't stay on the pitch. See you later. Bukayo Saka, out. And we are top of the league. The difference is pretty clear, man.
We are very deep. So different starting 11s. I love it. I think you go into a game as the opponent. Like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do against us? I think we're keeping everybody kind of on their toes a little bit. Another thing we'd like to hit on with this manager, subs. The subs are happening, and we are winning games because of the substitutions we're making. Martinelli, obviously like a revelation. He's had a couple great games off the bench. You have the Trossard, you have Eze, Declan Rice coming off the bench in games. I mean, it's just real big time stuff. For years we've been kind of wanting this. I feel like we're on like the precipice of potentially being great. Maybe it's too early to say. It's early in the season still, but you can really see it. Kai Havertz, like you said, coming back. Bukayo Saka now starting 2 games. Martin Odegaard can't stay on the field. Like, bro, we are top.
We are top, and the doomsayers. I mean, remember doomsayers in preseason questioning every decision that Mikel is making? Where are they? What happened to them? What happened to the doomsayers? I'm sure they'll come out as soon as we have another negative game. But to your point that things are changing, I think our fan base online is also going through a bit of a turning point. Our fan base itself is starting to, put aside all the stuff that you hear in mainstream media, but also start to put aside some of the stuff that they've been hearing in new media, almost like pushing back against the click chasers. I'm seeing stuff about there's like breakups happening in AFTV. I saw that recently.
Oh, wow.
Some of their big characters are starting to leave. And I have to wonder, is that just because they can't stick to their talking points anymore? Or is that just because they feel like they haven't enough following individually to continue their good work?
I didn't see that. That is news to me. I think that's kind of funny. I would say, as far as the click chasing stuff, the banter, 3 games on the bounce for Liverpool, right? 3 games on the bounce, ouch. Seems like they are now the talking point. Arne Slot, did he just take over Klopp's team? All that kind of jazz. Florian Wirtz, 009, whatever he is at this point, not doing great. Like, the talking points are... You can't really say anything about Arsenal right now. I'm sure, obviously, once we drop points in a game, everybody loves to flip the script. But right now, keeping our name out your mouth, it's the team that lost 3 on the bounce.
It's kind of nice that they're also trying some of their old gimmicks and you're just being unbothered by it. I saw a post recently, I think just 48 hours ago, that had gone viral where they did a percentage of goals from open play from all the Premier League teams, and they had Arsenal ranked like fourth from the bottom at like 36% of our goals have been from open play. And maybe that was funny like 2 years ago, but you're not laughing now. You're not laughing now.
You got to say the long throw obviously taking over in the league. Everybody now got a long thrower, right? Everyone wants to say Stoke City this, $1 billion Burnley that, you know. It's like, well, the tactics seem to be working for us, right? They seem to be working, so I think there's a lot of copycats out there.
There absolutely are. Everyone's trying to mimic our corners. They're trying to take the same approach. It's just not falling in for them as much because you don't have Big Gabby. Okay, that's the bottom line. You can try to replicate all the plays all you want, but you can't just build that player in a lab. You just can't, okay? And it's really interesting with the long throw. I saw the Crystal Palace manager who has gone to like the top of my list. I think in the past I've said, hey, if I sit here and I say, sack Mikel Arteta, I don't know who's going to replace him tomorrow, but I'm starting to look at this guy at Crystal Palace and I'm thinking, hey, there's a manager there that I wouldn't mind. If things go south one day, I actually have a name in the back pocket now. But he was making the case that the long throw is actually very advantageous because there's no offside on the long throw. So that really helps them pin the team even deeper within their own box. That then allows you to have those kind of, Zubimendi volleys, which is interesting. You don't often think about it. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of watching that every game. I'm not. I don't want to see that from the Arsenal. But if it's 0-0 and 15 minutes have passed and you want to try it, okay. I really doubt that when we're winning 3-0, we're going to be chucking long throws in.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely a game state thing. It just adds an element of chaos, right? That's all it does. You put the ball into the box. Who knows where it's going to end up? And if you lose the ball based on a clearance, you can probably pin in the opposition, right? They're going to put a long ball out. You're pinning them in anyways. That's probably how you started with the long throw in the first place, was you had them pinned in and the ball went out of bounds. At least in Arsenal's case, that's just how it works. I love the shout out for Glasner. By the way. Incredible stuff. Eddie Nketiah, big time winner. Gotta give Eddie a shout out on the pod. Fly, Eddie, fly. I mean, fly. Crystal Palace is flying.
They absolutely are, dude. They started to take some heat because their admin had started this thing about like updated the bio, and then all of these other clubs have now started to make fun of them a bit because their 19 win streak like ended. But big shout out to them, man. And also, I think it's good to give Mikel flowers. But look, our owners, yes, the Kroenkes are American. We are recording from Washington, D.C. But I told you at the top, we are independent. We're here to just tell you what we're seeing. And in the last 10 years, have there been instances where everyone has been really, really quick to say, it's the owners, get the owners out, get the owners out. And those same people are not coming out and saying, wow, look at what the ownership is doing. Look at what Berta is doing. We just had an amazing summer. We signed 8 new players. I don't think any of us were expecting that. At some point this season, we've already seen 5 new players that we've signed in the starting sheet. Like crazy things, right? But then you hear about the contract extensions. 5 players extended their contracts. We're giving out pay raises. Not even a contract extension. We're just saying, hey, David Raya, you earned this. Hey, Leo Trossard, you earned this. Here's some more money. Hang around. Be happy. You've been watching Arsenal for more than 20 years now. Have you ever seen us move like this? From a corporate standpoint, from a club standpoint?
People want to come to the Arsenal, right? I think that's the difference now. They want to come here versus we're afraid that they're going to leave. There's that thought in the back of your mind. Saka, Saliba, Big Gabby, like they could leave. We've seen big time players leave the club. No, in the summer, I mean, big time players are coming in. I want the Arsenal. I'm hearing other clubs talking about me, have my name in their mouth. I only want the Arsenal. That's who I want, right? Contract extensions, they're obviously getting done. I haven't won trophies for this club. This club deserves trophies. I'm staying. That's big man Saliba. Like, oof. I want to say things almost like a cultural change we've seen with Arteta. player change around the club, man, I'm all for it. You think of United. I always have this comparison with United with us. Like around the same time, we were kind of in the same state, right? Once Ole Gunnar was there, they had the second place season where they actually weren't that great, but they did end up second. After that, they've been on a complete downfall. We were on a downfall for a few years at the end of the Wenger era. Say we were kind of a club in the same status. I would say they're even a bigger club financially than us, but look at where they are. They moved wrong. They have moved wrong repetitively, and we have moved right in the right direction repetitively. And that's why we are where we are. And the standards are going to keep us here for at least, I would say, at least another 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I don't see that changing.
It looks like it. This is an era to enjoy. I mean, we don't know how long it will last. We really don't. Next summer, I'm already hearing things, right? The squad is maybe a little too big. Maybe this upcoming summer, some of these players will leave. It's possible. Maybe you are giving some of these contract extensions because you want to make a Real Madrid pay. I cannot tell you, if Real Madrid come in and they put in a proper bid and they say, we want William Saliba, it's like, all right. But if they got him for free, Steven, I would be fucking sick, dude.
Absolutely. There would be pain there. Runs out his contract, goes. That's one thing, right? Trent Alexander-Arnold. We all knew he was leaving. Konate seems like he's leaving. William Saliba put his foot down, said, no, I'm staying. I haven't won anything. We're good enough to win. When he stays, it's not just like, oh, we didn't win anything, so I want to stay. It's like, no, we are good enough to win. I have Odegaard, I have Saka, I have Big Gabby, I have Declan Rice. He sees all the players in training every day. We are good enough. So I think there's a belief there. We believe it as fans, but we're delusional. But if one of the players is doing it, I think that means something.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think the vibes are so high coming back to this international break. Obviously, at the weekend, we're going to get to the Fulham game. We'll have a preview chat about it. But there's nothing that seems to be stopping this team but itself at this moment in time. And that's really exciting. And look, when you get the results against West Ham, when you get the results against Leeds United, the 1-1 against City doesn't look like the end of the world. The 1-0 lost in a worldie to Liverpool in a game that you and I feel we dominated for like 60, 70 minutes. That's not the end of the world. So it's a really good time to be an Arsenal fan. It's a really nice time to be enjoying what we're seeing. And I got to tell you, man, that Newcastle win, I want to hear your thoughts. We didn't really get to chat about it, but that is one game that I do want to hear some of your thoughts around how massive of a result it could be.
Oh, take me back. Take me back in time. That Newcastle game, that's obviously a big one in my mind. You're talking about teams that in previous seasons have kind of done us dirty. It's not about the Cities and the Liverpools at the time. It was about there was Villas that have ended our season. Newcastles have ended our season. Fulhams, right? Newcastle has now become a rival for us. Huge game going there. We can't get a win. We harped on it last season, man. I think we played them 4 times. We only won once. Lost 3. Terrible. Go into the game. I'll be honest with you. I'm looking for a point. I'm not even looking for a win. I just want a point at Newcastle. Big time stuff, bro. I mean, it's just big time stuff to come out with you go down early, and it was Big Gabby let us down on that goal, like 100%. That big striker, he looks like Anthony Gordon's big brother or something. They look so similar. Just puts in the goal. Then to have the cojones to go with the late goal in the 80th minute, 85th, big cojones for that, and then to push on for the winner. Like for me, there was only going to be one winner after that goal. I'm satisfied with the point. I think we deserved a point. We played really well. To get the winner, man, I mean, you have the Reece Nelson goal is like kind of one of the last ones I remember like that. There was the Declan Rice goal against Luton. That's one of those feelings, those late winners. This one just seems to mean a lot because we don't know what the end of the season is going to look like, but that's a moment you look back on, I think, and you can be like, wow, that was a turning point for us. We got over the hump. It's a huge win.
Definitely, dude. I didn't get to watch that game, obviously being in Japan, but I did see some of the coverage, and a lot of the headlines seem to suggest that like Arsenal nick it late, Arsenal edge Newcastle. And then I started to look at the stats, Stephen, and it's St. James Park, and we have 7 shots on goal versus their 3. We have 17 total shots, 12 corners, 65% possession. That doesn't feel like they nicked it at the end. That feels like you scored early and you packed it in.
Oh, they definitely packed it in. This is a footballing pod. I'll kind of be honest with you. The first half, I was not happy. I was not happy at all. So they put the goal in. It's a sucker punch type of goal. We've seen it time and time again. We're on top. They score off this corner. Sucker punch goal. We did not look good. From when they scored to the end of the first half, man, it felt like we were unraveling.
Oh boy.
I will say that. Arteta was on the sideline piping up quite a bit. He's getting camera time, right? I think he's in the fourth official's ear. It's one of those type of movements where the crowd then got into it because of the way Arsenal players were being. There was a few instances where, I don't know if we're being petulant or we're just frustrated, I think. And there was the narrative was writing itself. We're the same old Arsenal, right? We're going to lose our heads, lose the game. And it's less about how well we played, but because of we didn't react to the moment. So talk about flowers to the manager. Whatever the hell happened at halftime, we regrouped, came back out, stuck it to him. I mean, to me, that's why it's such a big win. Because it was on the verge of not being great, bro. It was on the verge.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely. It was the vibes I got just reading some of the stuff online. And look, maybe if that game doesn't end with an Arsenal winner, maybe that Olympiacos game at home now has a different vibe. Maybe the West Ham game now has a different vibe. One of the things you just mentioned was some of these lower in the table teams that have been our boogeyman. And at the start of the season, you and I kind of talked about the Champions League being the measuring stick for success. Do you feel that we should maybe add a second measure for success in how we perform against some of our boogeymen, against the Villas, against the Newcastles, against the West, against Fulham coming up at the weekend? These are now, they feel like a good tell for how we're doing. How is the manager doing?
Absolutely. Champions League is like I think it's the measuring stick of like, how good are you? Right? Like, how actually good are you? Like, as far as your ceiling goes. When we're talking about we'll call it the other 14. Those are the other 14 teams in the league that can really cost you. And we've seen it time and time again. Those are the games that will cost you. We had this huge unbeaten run against this top 6. I don't see any trophies, though. I don't see any trophies for that because we didn't do well against the other 14. That, to me, is a different type of measuring stick of like, I would put it more on the manager. Starting lineups. Are you changing things? Are teams able to watch us and be like, oh, Arsenal are going to do X, Y, Z because they've done it the last 4 games. So they prepare for it and they know how to play us. Yeah, I think it is so far so good because we are changing things up quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, sticking with the manager, how much of a double-edged sword do you think this depth is going to be for us going forward? You just mentioned we're seeing the change in the lineups. You and I know hindsight's 2020. There's going to be games coming up where we'll probably sit behind this mic and we'll say, got the starting line wrong. Maybe he shouldn't have rested that player. Maybe this other guy should have started over him. I wonder how much, like, is this now going to be the thing where we start to judge the manager on and people have their outcries about, oh, well, he got it wrong from the start. You know, he's got all this depth. He doesn't know how to manage it. As soon as you get one bad result, I can just see those talking points.
You're spot on, man. I mean, there's always going to be a talking point, right? There's always going to be something to nitpick. If that's the way we're going to be moving going forward, you're spot on. I've sat behind this mic and have said, I want variation. So that's if you get it wrong and you have the balls to make the changes, I can't fault you for that. You tried something, you tried to make the change. I always have an issue with more of a fear if I change things, it might go wrong. So I'm going to be safe and conservative. I'd prefer, we're better. I have these players at my disposal. Let's go forward and impose ourselves on our opponent. That's the way I like it. So I can't go wrong at them. But are you more on the other side then?
I think maybe a little bit. I worry about how much it's going to be a talking point. I want him to succeed. I think one of the things I saw after a Newcastle game that kind of upset me a bit was people coming out and like defending super hard Mikel Merino. They're saying, oh, like, where is everyone who's been chatting shit about Mikel Merino the last couple of weeks, that like he shouldn't be playing or he shouldn't be starting. Look at how good this player is. And I just feel like we know the players that we have, and the questions aren't for Mikel Merino. They're not to say, when I questioned a manager starting Mikel Merino against Liverpool and starting him against Manchester City, it's for the manager. I feel like, to your point of him having that fear, those feel like the safe choices. I don't want to see him making the safe choices. So if he's now willing to roll the dice a little bit more, I'm all for it, but I do worry it might backfire. We have a very, very busy period coming up for the Arsenal, starting with this weekend until November 8th. That's when the next international break will be. And in between those, 30 days or so, there's basically a game every 2 to 3 days. And I'm not expecting to see the same lineup for any of those games.
No. And to kind of go back to your question is, if we keep winning, it doesn't matter, right? The talking point's dead. If you drop one game here, for some reason we drop one game in 4 or 5, it's like you can make that a talking point. But when you're winning, the vibes are good. And I think other people were talking about the point of not getting the starting 11 wrong, but what's going to happen when Martinelli doesn't start for 5 games? Is he going to be disgruntled? Blah, blah, blah. Winning is the cure for all. For me, if you're winning games, it doesn't matter. You can't be disgruntled when you're top of the league. So it's going to be a talking point going forward, absolutely. But it is actually an interesting one.
I think I'm just, this is a footballing pod, and I'm just trying to prepare our audience, our listeners. I'm priming them for what some of the things might be that they see people coming at the manager for it. I just want you to keep the cool head, right? Keep a cool head and remember what we're all about. And I hear you, man. Let's have some player chat before we get into the Fulham preview. Obviously, there's been a lot happening over the last 3 weeks or so. We touched on Mikel Merino already a little bit. Odegaard, he picked up an injury. I saw news today saying he's going to be out until mid-November. And I guess that's a pretty good segue to Eberechi Eze, who might just be a number 10, Steven.
So we saw him start at the right 8 once. We've seen him move there once Odegaard is out. I gotta say, I like it. I like that he's now the like for like move. Start of the season, I think he's a left wing. But if you don't have Odegaard there, who's your next best option? So I guess it's between him, Nwaneri, and Merino. Merino there just doesn't seem to work when you have Declan Rice and Zubamendi. It just doesn't seem to work. You could move Nwaneri there. I think he's actually had a very good start to the season. But this number 10, for me, you got to put the number 10 there. You got to put Eze. I would rather Eze start at the right 8 if Odegaard is not there versus the left wing. That's how I prefer it. Do you see it the same way?
I would like to see Ethan Nwaneri play, to be honest with you. I think just maybe from a sentiment perspective, maybe from a growth perspective, also from a perspective of I still see Eze at the left wing in a cup final. I do. I just think in a cup final, if everyone's healthy, he's playing left wing. I don't see him playing that right 8 role, but it does seem that he's kind of plays that role differently than Odegaard, right? The one thing I tell you that I have seen about Eze over these last month that he's actually been playing, this guy's a shooter.
Absolutely shoots the volleys, man.
Oof.
He's trying to score. He is trying to score. I know you've been gone, so let me put you up on a little bit of game. The left wing, it's been Trossard lately. It's not it's not our typical left wing play, touch line, boots on it, trying to widen the field. We're like playing a lot more central now. That's just how it feels. Trossard is like joining into the middle of the field. When Eze's out there, I think that's just we're looking for a playmaker out there versus an actual touchline winger, a la Martinelli. Martinelli has been, when he plays on the right wing, he's doing most of his damage through the middle. That's just the way it's working. He's making a run near the center backs. They're not tracking him. Again, more flowers to the manager, I guess. I guess I got to give him to him, because when things go wrong, you pin it on him. When things are going right, give him the flowers. There has definitely been a change in the gameplay. There aren't drastic changes, but that's what I would say. So Eze playing through the middle now, it's working well. I like the shout for Waneri to get more minutes. I think that's important. Marino there does not work. I'm on that train 100%. It does not work to start the game. Cup final, I want Eze at the left wing because I want Odegaard at my right 8. But without Odegaard there, Eze is my pick.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. That volleys are really nice, man. There was a save, I think, that Nick Pope made that was just insane when I was watching the highlights back. And he does want the goal. He really does want the goal, dude. He wants the goal. He's good. I think it's pretty interesting, though, that Trossard has been on the left wing. That mention, it's pretty interesting to me. And, when you talk about players being disgruntled, like, I think it's hard to be disgruntled if you're Gabriel Martinelli in October and September. I think wait until the Champions League quarterfinals, and then you can be upset about not getting playing time. But right now, it's just about, can you earn your spot back? Earn it back. And to his credit, Gabriel Martinelli, he is showing a lot of character, man. You have to put respect on it. He absolutely is.
Keep us honest. I like that. Keep us honest. We've been dogging this dude out. We've been dogging on him. He is our super sub this season. Trossard was typically like our best sub, could get us numbers. Martinelli's numbers off the bench are crazy right now. There's no drop off, and he is a game changer. So I give him respect. I like that. Shout out Sticks.
Shout out Sticks, man. I know they often say he's very good in training, and we're seeing it now, right? Even without the starting shirt, he is putting in shifts in training. He's keeping his head down. He's doing the damn thing, dude. And that's really, really great to see.
So we're going through the Eze Odegaard kind of, I'll say, little transformation, just period that we're having. The big talking point lately. And I want to get your perspective. I know you haven't been watching like that, but it's your man. It's your big man, King Kai. The big talking point as far as players go in the squad right now is Kai versus Victor. There's got to be a talking point. There has to be some friction out there. Kai versus Victor is the thing. Victor's been okay. His goal scoring numbers aren't great in like the last 3, 4, 5 games, but he's actually playing well. I think the general sentiment from the fan base, he's actually playing well. But he's not King Kai either. He's not a player like King Kai. So give it to me. Give me what you think.
First of all, King Kai, I miss you dearly. I miss watching you play in an Arsenal shirt. I'm very excited for your return in November. Second of all, I'm very pleased to see the fan base also missing you. Where I didn't know we had this King Kai hive, like these people who are now coming out with their chests and saying, I can't wait to see Kai Havertz back. I think it's weird to pin it as a Kai Havertz versus Victor Gyökeres. That, to me, feels like you are just lost in the sauce. You're chasing clicks. You're forgetting that they both play for the same badge. And this is what we want. We want competition. We want rotation. But if you want to have a chat about who's better, I'll tell you right now, King Kai is levels above Victor Gyökeres, man.
I love the confidence. I love the shout. I'm going to talk about just Victor real quick. Again, not putting in the goals right now. Like, the numbers are down. I'd say they're a little low. He's gotten some really good chances. Hit the post a few times. Has been in good situations. His defensive effort is great. He is like obviously moving defenders with him. I think that's the talk Mikel Arteta is trying to put up is, hey, defenders are having to track him, and it's not just one. Typically two are having to move with him. He's a big man. He's fast. They got to stick with him. But we can't forget about Kai Havertz, bro. You can't forget about Kai. He's a dog. We know that. We were playing Newcastle. That's the first game I remember watching Kai Havertz and being like, damn, he got it like that. When he took out, was it Dan Burn out on the sideline? Took him out nasty style.
That was after 30 minutes of Saka taking a beating. That's something we haven't had, okay?
That was definitely like a defensive moment as far as like defending your teammates. That's 100%. I am excited to see Kai Havertz come back. Cup final, I'm probably going Kai Havertz. My heart's with Kai Havertz. I'm not saying Gyökeres is not a good player. When he came in, I think there was that debate of like, well, is he the man? Who's the man? I like what you're talking about. Like, preach that. It doesn't matter which one is the man because they both play for the Arsenal. We need them both. But cup final, I want Kai Havertz.
Look, man, Victor Gyökeres is a good player. Has he brought more to this team than some of the other strikers that we've had in recent years? Absolutely. I think there's no denying that. And I do feel the goals will fall for him. But you have to take into consideration the fact that he has now played against Liverpool. I don't think he had a shot on target. He played against Manchester United. I don't think he had a shot on target. Played against Manchester City. Maybe he had a shot, but I don't really remember him kind of making the goalkeeper have to make a save. And then you look at Newcastle, another game where he didn't score. Maybe he should have. Maybe there were opportunities for it. But these are 4 pretty big teams. And do you want me to list off who Kai Havertz has scored in an Arsenal shirt against?
Stop it. Don't do it to him.
I won't make that. You know the stats. The stats are there. I'm just here to tell you, Victor Gyökeres is great to come in, 40 minutes to go, scoring goals. If he's going against tired legs, putting in that shoulder, I think he will get more chances. It's more exciting. But look, man, Kai Havertz is the number 1 choice up top for Arsenal Football Club. You're only fooling yourself. You are only coming from a hate that I don't even know what is spurring it, but stop it.
Bottom line, I think you've got to respect both of them. Again, I'm interested to see you now watch Victor playing because there is an absolute, it's so apparent the defenses respect him. There are people tracking him. He's opening spaces. We're scoring goals. It's not like we're not scoring. Like, we are scoring goals. He's not scoring specifically, but guarantee, like, you best believe he is the one dragging the back line. He's pushing the depth. Long balls going in. It's all because of him. So, like, there is kind of that give and take. Kai Havertz is a player. He's going to drop deep, do all that, blah, blah, blah. But it's an interesting, it's like the yin and yang to me. Like, Victor he obviously doesn't have the touch like that, but he does have the brashness, right? I just really like the 2 players. I'm excited for Kai to come back to, I guess, give the team another dimension. I don't want to become too one-dimensional with Gyökeres. So I'm excited. King Kai, please come back, baby.
Yeah, and look, he's putting in work, man. He is. He has to carry the majority of the load, and he's showing that physically he's up to it. So there's some credit there. And yeah. I would say the biggest difference between Victor and Kai Havertz, the vibe that I get is that Victor is like a multi-goal in one game player. He strikes me as someone who will score a brace. But Kai Havertz, maybe he gets you 1 goal, but maybe he creates like 8 chances. Do you know what I mean? That's like the biggest difference between them. And ultimately, at the end of the day, with some of this stuff, it just matters about like who's your preference. And I'm here to tell you today and tomorrow and the day after, a cup final, Kai Havertz starts up top. And Victor, keep doing what you're doing. Hopefully, you get close to 20 by January. I still have my money on that. Believe that.
Yeah, he's going to put in 5 in one game or something, give you a little boost. That's what's going to happen. So the other huge summer signing, Zubimendi, again, you've been gone, but I'm sure you've watched some comps and stuff. Do you have any different Any different feelings from him?
Well, I'm still on the Santi Cazorla sauce regen vibes that I'm getting. I think a lot of the fan base has been surprised by his creativity, by like him actually pulling the strings a little bit higher up the pitch than what they expected. And he just got the goal of the month for the volley that he scored. So for a player that we're still not sure what we have there, he's very top, man. Very, very top.
He is top. I think in the West Ham game, Odegaard went down. Then that question was, who's going to go into that spot? The starting midfield for that game was Eze, Odegaard, Declan Rice. Declan Rice was the one sitting deepest. So that was an interesting, like, who's gonna step into this game? When area we're gonna keep that offensive foot forward. Marino, I guess he's already played right 8. It was Zubamendi. He came in, drops into the 6. Declan Rice pushes up. Eze fills in for the Odegaard spot. I gotta say, it works like magic, man. I've had a really hard time kind of pinning down Zubamendi, like what I think about him. Like the first thought that comes into my head now is playmaker. He's a playmaker. He is a passer. He makes things happen for us. He's on the front foot. Playmaker, and I'm not gonna say like a Pirlo-esque type player, but maybe that's the evolution that he can have. Like he just seems like he's a playmaker, wins a lot of tackles. That's what I'm gonna sit on for now, is the word playmaker.
Yeah, as you were chatting about him, the player that came to mind was Modric.
Ooh, I like that.
That I think is kind of possibly where he could be headed to in terms of stature.
If he scores more goals, takes the shot, I believe there are shots for him to take.
Mm-hmm.
Goal of the month. I think there are some shots that he can take on. I don't hate if he turns out to be Modric. I don't think I would hate that one bit.
No, not at all. Not at all. And look, it's nice to have another shooter from the midfield. We just talked about Eze. He seems to be a shooter. Odegaard was just getting his shot back, but obviously we're going to miss him for a month and a half or so. But there is one player who I recently watched a comp on, only in an Arsenal shirt. This guy, Declan Rice. All bangers, dude. You go and watch a goal comp of him in an Arsenal shirt. My God, that has to be the best defensive midfielder in the world right now.
I think he's almost proven that he's not a defensive. I still think that's probably what everyone thinks, defensive midfielder.
Uh-huh.
I don't think so, bro. He's really not. He's a front-footed 8 is like the way I would put it. He obviously puts in so many defensive actions. It's interesting that you're starting off with like the offensive. I defensively, he's so crazy, so good. Offense, bro. Dude can hit a ball. Eze missed the volley against West Ham that Declan Rice put in. I'll say that. That's, Eze is that kind of player. Declan Rice scored the goal that he missed. Like that's enough said.
It's really difficult, to your point of calling him a defensive midfielder. I mean, I watched the highlights of that Newcastle game. I think it was Newcastle when he had that huge charge back, dude.
Yeah.
And like
against Jacob Murphy, yeah. Crazy.
That's your defensive midfielder, bro. That's a defensive midfielder.
That's crazy. I mean, that's such a run. That's got to be such a detrimental thought for an offensive player. I'm through. And Declan Rice, you hear him like huffing and puffing behind you, like, oh shit, here we go again. Yeah, the horse. That was crazy.
That was, man. I mean, look, I want to pivot really quickly to the Fulham game, but before that, we have to talk about the star boy. We have to talk about Bukayo Saka, who's been back in the team for a while now. He just scored an amazing goal for England. I don't know if you got the chance to see that. But I just wanted to say, do you remember all the world-class chatter last year and the year before? And you look at this team now, dude. I mean, every single position, I feel like we have a world-class player in it. The back line alone. Those are 4 starting world-class players. Jurriën Timber, William Saliba, Big fucking Gabby, and Richie Calafiori, who we're not even going to have time for on today's pod. But those are like, this team is so good, so good. Talk to me about Bukayo though.
I like your shout. A lot of star players in the squad. Let's start there. Baseline, a lot of players that could play it for 98% of the teams in the world. But you got to say it. There's still one player that's the standout, that is the brightest on the squad. And it's number 7, right? It is Saka. He is the standard. He is the guy. I like that he's the guy because he doesn't have that Cristiano Ronaldo-ness to him. I wouldn't even say he has like an Erling Haaland vibe to him, right? He's not loud. He's not brash. He's not big and vibrant. He's kind of got, he's got the smile and he's got the limp. He's just like, I'll say he's a cool cat is what I would say. He's just a cool cat out there. But he's nasty. He's strong. He's fast. He is the main man of a squad full of ballers, like absolute ballers. He is the standard for us. So yeah, it is nice to have the academy product be your best player, to be honest.
I think you freaking killed that, man, because I absolutely hear you. This team is so good. Everything is going so well that I was shocked when I was seeing the arguments online about, Saka took the penalty away from Victor Gyökeres. What were they talking about when Saka stepped up to take the penalty instead of him? Did you feel any type of way about it? Because like for me, I was seeing those things and I was like, hold on a second. Who's the guy who even opened up our scoring for this season? I'm pretty sure it was Bukayo Saka.
The guy that puts the team on his back. I'll be honest with you and say, I thought Gyökeres was going to take it. I really did. This to me goes back to you don't see him as being the Ronaldo, the Haaland, like the type of guy that picks up the ball and like, I'm taking it. It's mine, blah, blah, blah. He's the cool cat. He's like, no, this is my duty. I got it. Don't worry about it. That was more of a moment of like, I'm the dog. Like, this is me. I'm the alpha. As cool as he is, it's like, no, trust. I'm still the alpha on this motherfucker. That's like, to me, that sent a message. No lie.
It's nice. He is starting to find his voice. I saw his interview after the Newcastle game, and he said, hey, it's like, that's a penalty. And those are the calls that have not gone for us in the past. Like, those are the margins. To see Bukayo Saka, to see him wearing the captain's armband more often now as well, when Odegaard has been out, I really like that he stepped up. And it was also a reminder for Victor, maybe like, yeah, I know you're 28, I'm 23, but this is my club. This is my club. It's a good reminder.
It definitely sent that message. I really thought Gyökeres was going to take it, but it sent that message. Hey, and his penalty record is good. Obviously, we've seen him miss some, but the record is there, the international goal. There's always that little chatter of, is Bukayo Saka that guy? Is he the guy? Like, who else? Who else is going to play out there and be better? Stop it. And then they're going to go out and do super well in the World Cup, and then they're going to boo him the next season. That's just how they are.
Oh, the boos. I forgot about the boos. They're still so crazy to me. Those boos around England are so strange, dude. I tell you what, not a single person posted about Palmer and Foden being better than him after he scored that goal for England. It was a banger, dude. It was a banger. Silenced them all. Look, man, obviously we're approaching an hour on this beat, as we usually like to go. And it is a busy period for the Arsenal. I mentioned it starts this weekend against Fulham, and it runs until November 8th against Sunderland away. I know you're going to be up for that match when it comes around before the next international break. But how are you seeing this Fulham game? I forget if it's home or away.
It's an away game. I think it's at 12:30 here on Saturday. So kind of a midday one. Not my favorite. I prefer an early morning game, but it's at 12:30. This is exactly what we were just talking about, though. The other 14, we've seen Fulham have good moments against us, and it's away. I'll put this on not as high on a pedestal as the Newcastle game, but I do put this one on that pedestal of, if you're going to be there at the end of the season, you're going to be you're going to be one of the horses in the race come May. This is a game you have to produce the 3 points. Because we draw them. It's not like we lose to Fulham, we draw them. And that's the issue. Got to get the 3 points from them. I don't think they're having like the best season ever. 3 points, man. Got to be.
Yeah, no, I totally hear you on that. I mean, the difference between 2 points and 6 points is huge when you look at the number of points that we've lost this season by. I think Fulham, the last 2 games that they've had in the league, they've lost both of them 3-1 to Bournemouth and Aston Villa, but they're not a bad team per se, and I don't know how many of their players were on international break. So like they've had definitely more time to prepare for the game in a way, they're players than maybe our players. And it's always a little difficult with players coming back from international break, you're never sure about the starting lineup and how everything's going to mesh together. But I hear you. It should be a win. It needs to be a win, honestly. And I think one of the biggest things about this season is I don't want to see us lose that first spot. I really don't. Like, I can see us staying there for a very long time. And I like that pressure a lot more than being second and third chasing.
I don't remember the past few seasons when we come in second. I don't remember like an instance when we were first, when we like really built on that.
Mm-hmm.
There was that season where we were in first the majority of the season. And then City came and pipped us for it. But I remember they had like games on us, like, right? We had played, let's say 30. I think they were sitting at like 27 or something weird. Like they had games on us the entire time. They eventually caught up to us, and we lost. Not great. Fulham has been a boogeyman. Maybe they were in that season. This is kind of like one of those trap games. It honestly is. You could say West Ham is always kind of a trap game. They've had performances against us. Fulham like to have performances against us. It's a London rival. That's just the way it goes. They have good players, like you're saying. They have that dude Bossy in the back, number 3, I think, the center back. Dude always plays well against us.
He does.
I respect him when he plays against us. So talk about Mikel Arteta. We gave him all these flowers. Coming back from international break, find a way to do it. Find a way to do it. I'm sure he has a lineup already in mind. Get the result, man.
Get the result, man. I hear you. I mean, the next 4 games in the league, in the most Arsenal way, are much more difficult than the first 6 games that we had when we were like talking about, oh man, we have such a hard schedule that we're starting with. And I'm looking at the league now. We play Fulham, Crystal Palace, Burnley, and Sunderland. Let me tell you, those 4 teams scared the shit out of me a lot more than the teams that we played at the start of the season.
That's actually so funny. Palace is going to be a tough one. That's going to be a tough one. Looks like that's a home game, which is excellent. So away game to Burnley. I still feel good about the run. I think we'll do work against
There's
Burnley.
No Sean Dyche there, bro.
It's away to Sunderland.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 4 games before the international break. 12 points on the line. What do you think?
It has to be 12 for me. It has to be 12 for me. I think it does. Look at our ambitions. Look at how we're feeling about the squad, how we're feeling about the manager. For you to have affirmation around your own feelings as a fan, it has to be 12. If not 12, 10. It cannot be lower than 10.
10 is what I would say, just to give yourself the one draw. But that's a minimum. Honestly, like that 10 is, I'm drawing the line in the sand. Like it has to be 10. 12. We could win all of these games. I'm calling Sunderland a tough one just because they're playing well. Hey, that's going to be the end of... It's not even the end of October. That's in November. Season's well underway at that point in November.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And look, between these games, we have a couple of Champions League games. There's Slavia Prague. There's Atletico Madrid. And I don't really care about the lineups that we're putting out for any of these games because my expectations are that this team is deep enough and good enough that whoever you put out there should perform and should produce results against these teams. And if it's not happening, then we actually have a much bigger issue. Then we can start talking about Mikel Arteta.
I hate to like turn the page, but if you look for the next 3 games after that international break, wow, that's gonna be crazy. So let's just keep before the international break, keep the 4 league games, the 2 Champions League games. Let's just think about those.
I know.
And we'll see where we're at.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about those other ones. Those are gonna give me a little bit of blood pressure. I can feel it already. But Fulham away. I mean, the thing is, Steven, the reason that we are so confident is that we still have not seen us get outplayed in any of these games. And these last 2 matches, I mean, the West Ham game wasn't even competitive. So I think 3-0. 3-0 away at Fulham. I want to see a shutout personally. Look, we know about the Smith Rowes. We know about the Alex Iwobis, but I want to see a shutout. I want to see a statement. I want to see 3-0. We're back from the international break, haven't skipped a fucking beat, and we're about it. We're staying at the top of this league.
I'll go 2-0. I'm going to go for a 2. I think you said the last 2 games for 3-1. I wanted to say 3-1, but I don't like the odds of another 3-1 for them, so I'll go 2-0.
All right, man. That sounds good. Well, it's been nice to be back behind the mic, sharing it with you, chatting Arsenal. Anything else you want to get on the pod?
It's nice to have you back. I guess for anybody thinking about they want to go to Japan, give me one thing. If you're traveling to Japan, one thing you should do.
If you're going to Japan, one thing you should do for sure is to get the Suica card, because without it, you will have a very hard time navigating the transit system. But the one place I would say try and go to is Kawaguchiko. It's a small little town. It's near Mount Fuji, and they also have an amusement park. If you like roller coasters, they have one of the top 10 tallest roller coasters in the world. And I was privileged enough to ride it with my wife. It was super fun. It was actually the first time that we've gone to an amusement park together, although we've been together for 6 years. So it has a fond memory for me, that little city. So I would say Kawaguchiko.
I love that. I'm glad you had fun. Happy honeymoon to you. Happy marriage.
Thanks, man.
3 points against Fulham. 3 points against Fulham.
Let's do it.
We'll call it a day.
Call it a day. Obviously, as is DGP tradition, I cannot promise you when the next episode will be, but I hope you enjoyed listening to us. And if you're new, hope you subscribe and stick around. If you're a regular and you haven't left a rating yet, today's probably a good day to leave us a rating. It does help with the algorithm. It helps get us in front of new folks and helps get some more common sense analysis out there. So we appreciate it. Wishing everyone a really, really nice week. Enjoy the weather. It's turning. Do your little closet swap if you need to. I just took care of that today. But come on, Arsenal. We'll see you after the Fulham game.
Be easy.